All right, guys, a quick few announcements. There's not much. You still have your promo code to use all month, which I'm going to put in the chat after the call, image that I saw that I sent out on an email today. If you're anything like me and maybe you haven't hit your goals yet for this month, it ain't over. Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl is over, but this is kind of the separation season where you decide what really matters to you and why it matters to you and why your business is important. And hopefully you guys can get your cameras on because I'd love to see your faces. But there they are. Main point being is get creative. So for instance, I actually sent out a gift card giveaway to my entire downline, and I'm going to go follow up about it to create excitement, because sometimes you need something extra to throw in the game to hit your goals. That's just how it works. So don't be afraid to get creative. Remember, anything $50 and under is following policies and procedures. So if you want to do an Energize giveaway, if you want to do a cookbook giveaway, whatever that looks like for you, what your audience speaks to, do it and get on the phone with people, talk to them, talk through their goals, speed up the process. That's my biggest piece of advice as we go through these last 2 weeks left of February. Other announcements, the bike launched in Canada today. So if you have any Canadian friends or free leads, that's something to check in the back office. Make sure they know about that. And other than that, just a reminder that anyone who purchases a pack in February will get a 50% off code for 4-week gut protocol. I always want to say gut health protocol. I don't know why. I need like an acronym for it. So that's kind of another incentive that I am pushing, as we know autumn is massive and this is going to be a really huge launch. So that was all the announcements that I specifically had. Anything else I missed? Yeah, I think it's pretty standard. And then next week, Jess will be running, well, Sunday, Jess will be running the sneak peek into coaching. So really go through your downline the next couple of days and invite. Let's stack that call. Jess will be just be coming back from one of her Success Club trip vouchers. So she's going to be on fire with being there. So it'll be a really great experience to have, any challengers that want that exposure. Recognition. What do you guys got? I know a lot of people will be watching the recording, so shout them out.
Sarah is at Success Club 2. She's still pushing to hit 5 by the end of the month, even with a household full of COVID and all of the stressors. So, and Hannah is killing her conversations. It's just, how it is in the beginning. Sometimes it feels daunting and slow, and you get so excited. And I'm going to put Grayson back to bed because he just woke up.
Totally cool. Tell Grayson to say hello.
You know, come say hi. He's coming to say hi.
Hey, sweet guy.
You give him a kiss. Good night. You little kisses. Go to bed.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Rachel, you got any recognition?
Kristen was pushing really hard for Emerald to get on this call. She has her mom, or Kaylee has her mom that she's going to sign up very soon, and then her husband, so she can pop Emerald at the same time, kind of deal. And Kristen is really close to kind of doing the same thing with her husband account and her mom or her sister. So they're really close to being Emerald. So that's exciting for us for sure.
So proud of you and your team. That's so amazing. I wanted to shout out Katie because she has been back on the Zoom gym and sharing some quotes in the new coach pod, which I always appreciate because y'all don't need to see me talk all the time. And she's here tonight. So I appreciate you leaning back in, my friend. All right, so tonight is an open-ended discussion that I want your guys' feedback. Obviously, we all know Autumn brings the crowd, right? She is just every single lunch she does, people are going to be interested. But I wanted to kind of talk through what we can do differently for this launch, what you guys have liked from past launches. So in my brain, 4-week gut, whatever, we're going to come up with a cool name because I need some that is just not working for me. I love it, but we're going to come up with a cool, fun name. So that's number 1 on the list. If you have any name ideas, let me know, or we can start brainstorming in the pods. But in my brain, timeline wise, it launches on the 15th. Some of us as the leaders will be in Mexico. I don't even know where I'm going. I told you guys, it's been a week. This is what happens when we do team calls during the week now.
And it's only Tuesday.
I know. In my brain, maybe if I get there, it launches on the 15th. We're going to be in Punta Cana the 19th to the 23rd. So I would like to give time for anything to ship, anything to get set up, I actually want to do a full kind of prep week or 2 weeks where we really bring body into the mix. And Jess and I have talked about this in the past, that like bringing in new challengers and really giving them the body experience. I don't know if you guys have been doing body lately, but Autumn has been teasing, you can tell she's teasing different moves, different structures of things in some of her workouts. Like Allie messaged me the other day. She was like, what's the sneak peek? And I'm like, girl, start doing the body classes from Autumn. I'm telling you, she's trialing things. That's what they do. So I would like to see like those last 2 weeks of March finish out the 60-day body challenge a lot of us are doing, but also bringing in new challengers that way so that they can kind of find their groove and then kick off April 1st. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like that works?
To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be as into the 4-week gut thing since, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it a lot lately, and I'm trying to like stay focused on the things that I do have going on, like the pregnancy and staying on track with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what, like I wasn't part of Job One's launch, so I don't know what y'all do for launches and stuff.
Okay, that's a good question. And I will play devil's advocate to you that you absolutely still can do it and use it as a resource, whether it's just the nutrition piece, right? Or it is the fitness piece, because I think that this is a great, again, additional resource as an introductory program. And we'll do a team call in March, probably that first week of March, to launch the program and go through all the details and stuff like that is my plan. So I don't know all the details either, besides that it's 4 weeks, it's Autumn, that you can do just the nutritional piece of it, or you could also do the fitness piece of it. So for what we've done in the past is we've kind of teamed up with Jess and her downline and done a big bod group together for everybody that is doing the program start to finish. I don't have anything against that. I know Allie and I always run our own bod group, like we usually do for people like that. And we want to keep everybody going, right? So the thing that I struggle with is like, do you keep it a separate test group to create the hype that everybody in there is doing it when it's such a short program? Does it do something else? Whether it's an accountability pod, we haven't done that before. Like, I'm just throwing ideas out there that I've heard that other test groups have done, whether it's an Instagram message feed, whether it's a Facebook message feed, but then that's like so many people within our teams if we do it all together. So what I find is that we put all this content up because we have all the mompreneur for every launch, and it doesn't really get utilized, in my opinion. So we're just kind of creating a bod group where everyone gets to be together, which is awesome. But how can we really launch this in a way that is massive FOMO is what I'm always looking for, and massive connection to create consistency in the future. I'm going to stop talking and let you guys kind of put in your
I
feed.
missed, I was gone when you said ideas that other teams do.
Oh, I mean, Rachel was just kind of asking what we did for job one, or like what we've done for other test group launches.
I mean, I saw it in the sneak peek Facebook thing, like all the info on there.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. We'll like do a sneak peek week in that group. Again, that's something Allie and I have gone back and forth. Like, is that worth doing?
That group is just so hard because it has so many members that aren't inactive. And so no one sees the stuff. And I know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like no one pays attention to it. And I don't know how to change it. Like, I don't know.
Do you
Like
feel like
how-
they don't see it? Like they turned off the notifications and everything?
Or people just don't see stuff on Facebook in general.
Well, Facebook doesn't like, it also like targets who it shows it to, kind of thing.
Right.
Like if they might not get a notification for it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They don't see the stuff. in
Algorithm.
general. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there has to be a different way to run a group in Facebook, but I don't know what that is.
Well, and something Allie and I have thrown around multiple times that we've never really followed through on is having an Instagram team page that we run these sorts of things on. And then you could do like, you know, Katie's in charge of this week and she's doing a takeover, or like she has 2 days or whatever. To me, at the launches that have been most successful in my entire coach career have been when multiple people have banded together and committed to share their story, share the hype, blow it up. It doesn't work when one or two people do it.
Well, it's like with those,
Go ahead.
like with the mompreneur stuff, like I like the content, but it's like if you've been in the sneak peek group a long time, you can tell that it's
not ours.
Not ours.
Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all very similar. So it's like, I don't know, like I've thought about like I'm in another girls free group that's a Beachbody coach from a long time ago. And she like posts random like recipes and workout tips and like adds value, which the sneak peek group adds value, but it's like, do you just, if you're going to do it on Facebook, do you just like wipe it out and start a new group? Or do you just like keep that group with all 500 people that are inactive? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the answer, but that's what I thought about too. It's like, well, do you like, I mean, we have enough issue people going, no one goes live in the hub. So what's the odds that other people are going to want to take over the sneak peek group too?
I think from a numbers standpoint, it makes sense to keep the sneak peek group.
I agree.
Because, you know, if we all have a place to put people that are interested, and maybe what one program or what they hear may not be what they're interested in, but as long as we keep that group going, I think it gives us a really great spot for people to, hey, when you're interested, here it is, and let them find what speaks to them as, you know, the different people go in and out or program.
Yeah, I just think, and this is not 4-week gut protocol based, but since we're on the topic, the issue is like the last time I ran a sneak peek, so there's 400 people, 5 people, the post reached 5-ish people. So it's literally like we have to do a complete overhaul of the group, and like we post every single day and post, you know, things to add value. That's not just like a planned post that's covered from mompreneur.
Mhm.
Or it's gonna stay the same even if you add people to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
I think Allie, I think I saw you in there for, it's probably been like 2 years ago, I think, or
yeah,
something.
but I tried. Yes.
No. The oh shit, what was the training? Booked Out boot camps or something, where she talked about having the place there where you draw people and how you create the start to create the value in that group for people there so that they have it from that standpoint. And I think it sounds kind of silly, but what if, we have a kind of a newer group of coaches that are kind of getting started. Mm-hmm. And what if that's kind of where we get, look, hey, where you start kind of your lives and things like that, let them go there, because then their passion, their word vomits and all of those things go right into people that are still very much in the same point of their journey, probably, that these people are.
Not a bad idea. And like, they're excited. It's
right.
It's also a good, right. And it's also good for new coaches. Like you feel awkward inviting people and you word vomit. And so you can just say, hey, join this free group, and you get to see it, instead of like, you're having something to invite to. I think that's a good idea.
So something that I have launched to the team in the past, and Katie probably remembers this. It's a launch that I got, I think, when I was doing Shift Shop from the Pearsons, and they do it for every single launch, where they'll make a Excel doc with multiple tabs. And like, one of the tabs is like each coach's list of people they're keeping track of and where they are. So like, Allie would have her list, I would have my list. So it becomes like a little healthy competition. And then you color code the names by like, okay, this person's in the sneak peek group. Okay, this person's ready to sign up for their pack. Okay, this person's ready to be in the bod group. So you kind of like have some healthy competition. Another tab is to organize the free sneak peek to launch the program, where there's a schedule per day with a topic and who's assigned to it, because we're all freaking busy. And so to me, there would need to be that sort of structure with this group, that like, Hannah, on Tuesday, you're going to talk about, 2B mindset or whatever. And then there was like a giveaway. They had like tracking giveaways of who bought the program or something like that. It's like really simple. But again, it only works if everybody works it.
And yeah, like I tried, like a year and a half ago, to take over the sneak peek group and make it like a meal, like do like one topic a month. It was basically booked out boot camp is where I got my idea from. And it was like, you add, and then 1 week a month, you kind of take it over, but you do like your own live videos and things like that. And I did it. I tried, but it was like, we moved into our new house and it was just stressful, and no one else was in the hub was interested. So it was like, great, I'm doing it by myself and I don't have the time to do it. So it just kind of fell off. But
well, I think the main thing we're saying here is like, I'm cool with doing launches in the free sneak peek group. It just shouldn't be on one person's shoulder.
Right.
Number one. But I guess to circle it back around, seems like we're kind of all on the same page that we'd be willing to tackle that together and come up with a schedule. I can pull the Google Doc from previous launches, and we can go through it and kind of see what topics we might want to change or whatever, and then talk about in the pod. But like, just thinking big picture from a test group launch, what has gotten your teams, you excited in the past? I mean, I know we've done like tank top giveaways for everybody, not everybody, but like a raffle of launches. Like, what are the things that you guys remember from test groups that you loved, whether before you got into the test group or during the test group, outside of the program? What are those things that have fired you up?
Like, I'm sitting here thinking through, just like, the gift cards I think are always a great thing. And it's like, where people are in this current situation is so different that, and that's what I'm sitting here going in my kind of thinking through, is what has worked in the past. Are we still in a position that it would work today? Mm-hmm. Given where everybody is mentally, physically, from a safety standpoint and things like that. And that's why I think like I just keep coming back that maybe the gift cards are the right thing, or hey, a little time with one of us or somebody like that, hey, that can really kind of help again start to push that value piece even more, that then you can start to kind of build that in as part of it, so that you're able to, beyond the sneak peek group and the hub, you're able to kind of start to build the seeds and plant the seeds of, whether it's the preferred customer or looking at the coach route and kind of what that is and how we've all become there. That gives, the time gift as well, I think is a good one right now, just because of, especially with the desire to grow the team.
Well, I think, yes, I agree with that. But say it's like a totally just brand new challenger aspect, and or someone who's done multiple test groups.
It's a mentorship. It's a new person 30-minute mentorship call where it's like, hey, this is your time to say, look, I'm new, I'm curious, what are you worried about, what are your challenges are, and just have that dedicated time with somebody that's maybe not their coach, that they see something, the old, hey, if you see something, but start asking the questions and things like that from that standpoint, and just kind of really, hey, let's help push them to be successful and kind of start to see what the community piece is about, because I think that is one of the truly valuable pieces of what we have here. And I think that really helps kind of push that forward.
So maybe, Katie, what would be, I don't disagree with you that one-on-one calls are wonderful, but I also know our time limitations, and I don't know that that would fire someone up to commit. What I do think would be cool, and I've never done in a test group before, that's right along of what you're talking about and made me think about, is doing a weekly challenger check-in call.
I was just about to say that.
Because this is a short program that could be that higher level of accountability for 30 minutes and everyone on together. I think
like a happy hour on what's working for you this week kind of deal, like check in with the girls on the weekend,
even
or
do
something.
it like 30 minutes before the team call or something, which is an easy segue to new coach getting, or coach sneak peek and new coach getting started, right? I would totally be down to do that. The wealth is spreaded. We're already booking our Sunday nights anyways for team call. What do y'all feel about that?
No, I think the timing and everything like that, I think that would work really well. It's, hey, what's working well, what are you struggling with, and just give everybody kind of that open forum at that, whether they're new or old or been around for a while, that opportunity just to talk and build community.
I also think it's good for this program because this program's very like nutrition based. So I was listening to Autumn's podcast this morning about, it was last summer, but she interviewed a gastroenterologist, and it was all about gut health and like how she basically manifested her own gut health. But anyways, it's going to be a lot of nutrition based, and that's hard for people. So I think doing that weekly check-in call will be helpful. And like, what recipes are working for you? What, things like that, that it's not just workouts. So I think that's a good
so many
idea.
of our girls get on Zoom, but they haven't necessarily talked together. But I know when we've had like I think of that call where we had like Christina and Alyssa, and there was a few others, that it was nice for them to hear each other speak and learn about their stories, which can bridge that gap to team growth, like Katie's kind of alluding to. I would totally be down for that. So you guys feel like Sunday at 7:15, 7:30, what? I mean, it would only be for the month of April, and I'm assuming that the first starts on a Monday, so I have not even, it would be April 4th, I guess we would be officially starting.
The only run into is Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Do people really do Easter dinner? I mean,
I'll be at well, that's super weekend day.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll be at super weekend or on Sunday with Autumn.
oh, but I think that's fine. I mean, it'll
Yeah.
be at night. And if you, I
Yeah,
mean,
but it doesn't start till noon. It starts late for her. It's like noon to 7 or noon to 5.
oh,
And
Ew.
then it's 4 hours away.
then we'll share the load. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but yeah.
Are they doing that on Sunday?
It's always Sunday in DC.
Is it?
Mhm.
I feel like it was Saturday. Okay. Maybe I'm
I don't know. Wasn't it just on Sunday? I don't know.
Now you're second guessing the mom brain.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know what it was.
regardless,
What is it? Sunday.
So that last week of March, you want to do like a real prep week kind of
I
deal?
think that would be a great idea, Rachel. I know I'm gonna need it after Penticana, so just being honest. So we can set up the prep call for March 27th, and that'll give us a good like hard and fast deadline too of like you need to commit by the 15th to the 27th. You know, you have 2 solid weeks. Because if the 15th, the 29th will probably be the customer launch. So that will be a good incentive to sign everyone up as preferred customers, at least during that first launch. Okay, well, I think that's totally doable and shareable. So we'll still run the sneak peek in the Facebook group. We'll get a Google Excel going for that. I'll set it up and send to y'all, and we can start spreading. I got to look at the March calendar and see when we'd actually launch, probably like the 7th, we would start a sneak peek group. Is what I'm thinking. But big picture wise, what else do you feel your team's incentivized from? What fun things can we offer that is different?
For our team, like to bring in new people, or just in general for like people being in the new test group?
All of the above.
I mean, gifts are never bad. And I think for especially newer coaches, like hardcore recognition, like I think they thrive on that. Just feeling like they're doing something good and useful and being a leader by bringing new people in kind of deal. I liked the idea of having them go live in the free group, because I know as like a newer coach wanting to be a leader, but like scared shitless to do it. And then once I did it, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this more. This is so fun. Like they fire up about it. So any way that we could incorporate that, I think would be awesome. I know my girls are starting to go live on their stories, which is scary to them, but they're doing really well and people are reaching out to them, which is nice. So especially as a new person, but
what do you feel, Rachel, recognition wise works best?
Well, I don't know yet, but I think like just even in the hub, like shouting out like coaches doing well or whatever, like in the big team aspect, like I can shout them out all day long on stories. Yes, it's nice in our little bod group and stuff, but I think overall in a bigger community, it really gives them that like, oh, I'm doing good kind of feeling.
Yeah, and I'm totally down for that. My thing always is like, I don't have access to Jess's downline. I don't have access to your downline. So how can we make that something that's collaborative and includes, I'm all down, you know me, I'm all down for everyone and everyone. I've meant to do the January recognition today, but you know, I still have my work screen on. So there's that. So yeah, if you have any ideas as to how we can easily do that, I mean, it's very easy for Allie and I to pull any content, you know, for stories and adjust it for our teams and share it in the hub anyway. But I'm always like, how can I create one thing and use it multiple places, right? I'll use it in my email. I'll use it in the hub. I'll use it on my stories. 3 for 1. Any feedback, Katie, from you on like recognition wise, what you've liked in the past?
No, I mean, I think just the biggest thing is like, I just think through how you individualize it.
Like,
Yeah.
elaborate.
Huh?
Oh, can you elaborate on that?
Like it's always like the big group recognition. Obviously, I get like from an efficiency standpoint, totally makes sense. But if I start to peel it back and I think through it, I was, when did the recognition mean the most to you?
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, well, when I was, it sounds silly, when I was singled out, what, for whatever it is, from that standpoint, I think that has the ability to really, I think, promote that piece and be like, holy crap, somebody's seeing what I'm doing personally on my own versus one, like as part of a whole. Like, I think, from work, when you get singled out at work from a recognition standpoint, it's, we love it. And so that's what I'm thinking through from that standpoint is, to do that without, but at the same time, trying to recognize as many people as we can through the process as well.
Mhm. Allie, you have any thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking like, yeah, I love like Challenger of the Week or, whatever, but again, it's only 4 weeks. So how do you condense that to work for a 4-week program?
Yeah. I mean, I think it could be a challenge to each of us to really tell the story of what's happening within our groups, which I think could come through much clearer when we have these weekly check-in calls. I think it might open your mind a little bit to what's happening in the team and who's there and that sort of thing. But I think to Katie's point, she's not wrong, because almost every single new challenger I do, welcome to the team thing, all of them reshare it. But when's the next time you do that for them? So it's managing like our time, because we all know we rarely have time. So like, how can we be efficient, but how can we keep it special and unique to the people that feels meaningful? So I totally think that that's a good point and a good challenge for each of us to kind of think about.
What's something else that has worked in a short program before? Felt like worked or that you tried?
I mean, Shift Shop was only 3 weeks, but we repeated it multiple times. I feel like honestly, the nutrition was so different. So people like really kicked it. I mean, the other programs that have done well, at least for me and our team, is always 80 day, but that was a like effing big commitment and a little bit different than what we're doing right now. Same with 9-week Control Freak was a massive launch.
What
Did
about
y'all
like,
have a big one for Let's Get Up at all?
Not for our team. What were you saying, Katie?
me is MBA?
Yeah, MBF was good. That was a summer launch. So I never feel like the summer launches do as well as those January starts. It is big, but I feel like the winter and spring launches are always really big. I do agree with Allie that I think that it's a challenge to each of us, or what do we want to pull out of this program? Because we never dial it in with the nutrition hardcore on what we give to our community, I feel. And I would really love to see that shine with this one.
So I feel like with this, just knowing how gut health works and what she's probably planning on, people who commit to this program are going to have amazing results.
Mhm.
And I did the AAA workout today. Danielle, you did it too. And it was a lot of, she made it sound like that's how the 4-week gut protocol, or 4-week for everybody workouts are going to be like more 80-day obsession, like eccentric movement, like not easy workouts, modifiable, but like actually work. Like I was thinking it was gonna be like yoga or something, like, completely non-impact. But anyways, so the results are going to be good, and it's only 4 weeks, but the nutrition's huge. So I think that if we can somehow, I think it'll bring people together that are doing it, because like I said earlier, all going to be struggling with those nutritional challenges.
So
And it should be a 2 launch thing in my mind too, just to add that on. Like, I think this will be an April and May deal, because I want to hype it so hard to get that first wave. Like, I want transformation albums like no other from this program. There's really no reason we shouldn't. Sorry, Katie.
right. No. I'm just sitting here thinking, right? Like, we know the nutrition's going to be such an essential part of this, and I'll be the first to tell you mine is shit as shit can be right now.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting here and going, I mean, obviously it would be hard, but I'm like, besides myself, who would commit to doing 4 weeks of hardcore nutrition to set up a sample of, look, we know the nutrition's coming with, pick a workout. Like, I took time off because I wasn't sleeping at night. And so I started back with 21 Day Fix this week or last week when I started getting back into it, but kind of take an autumn program with hardcore nutrition and mash it up and let's go and say, hey, this is a potential of what could happen.
But it's the thing that it's not hardcore nutrition. It's just more of like dietary elimination.
Yeah.
So it's like minimal gluten, minimal processed foods. It's not like, it's very different. I don't know. It's like, it's not.
I'm just trying to think like creatively and try to think outside of the box a little bit.
You're trying to think of how to prep it.
Yeah.
Well, not just prep it, but because the nutrition piece is so integral and so different, just trying to think through that piece and how to kind of pull that together with it all. And
well, I think that all of us have to do our research on the program, and we need to take some time to learn the program, and that's totally part of it. And that wasn't my intention for this call to like go through all the details on it. It was more just to get a big picture. What gets you excited? What can we do differently in this test group launch? How can we make it most efficient but feel special? So I totally am not like disregarding what you're saying, Katie. I just think that will come with the research that we do. So knowing that we want to build big excitement, we have kind of a timeline of what that looks like now. I think these weekly calls could be something that are integrated into our regular routine. Honestly, I would love that, because it's going to build more connectivity and more community, which is going to keep people here longer, right? When they're plugged in, we all know that. So I don't want to keep you guys on that much longer, but I think this was a really good conversation to start the wheels spinning. And I think those calls are going to be really special. And maybe it's like, 2 people a week are in charge of leading it. So like Rachel and one of her coaches is leading this week, so that they know they're going to have a few questions to start it off, or that sort of thing. And that can also be another leadership aspect. So any other closing thoughts? I'll set up the Google sheet so we can start brainstorming for the sneak peek. But I don't want to cut you guys off with your ideas, but I do have to go back to work, and I don't want to keep you here all night either. Any other things that you think of that, and I'm sure as you dive into the program and learn about it, you're going to be like, oh, we should be doing this too, cool. All right. Well, you better take I'm going to stop the